Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal back with the Mr. Informal Podcast. I go by the name of Mr. Informal. Don't forget to add me on Instagram at MISTERINFORMAL. And then check me out on my website, mrinformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. So, the Thanksgiving has passed. Thanksgiving 2019 is over. But the month of eating is not yet done. It's December, almost Christmas. As you know, New Year's is coming. Everything is just fast going on right now. So, these are the 4 topics on this podcast. Free shipping has affected a small business in a bad way. Number 2, conscious consumer products are actually stalling or slowing down. Either that or consumers are starting to not care about it. Number 3, brand jeans are taking political side. Why should they? They're just fashion. Number 4, so 10% of consumers are only spending $1,000 for phones. It's quite low. So those are the 4 topics for this Mr. Informal Podcast. I hope you are doing well today. It is cold, it is winter, and the Christmas songs are caroling. And so let's go ahead and start the Mr. Informal Podcast. So the first topic for today is coming from the Atlantic. Article is titled, "Stop Believing in Free Shipping, How Retailers Hide the Cost of Delivery and Why We're Such Suckers for Their Employees." So, free shipping. So online shopping, when it works best, is sort of like a duck. The part above the water, the algorithmically selected products, a simple checkout process aided by personal information stored on phones. The package that appears on your porch 2 days later glide placidly along, setting off only the gentlest of ripples in your attention. The hypothesis of e-commerce is when people spend money without feeling like anything has happened at all. So that's a good imaginative statements right there. So, what is it basically saying? Well, basically, large retailers make sure their own ducks stay upright. Orders come in boxes marked with the insignia of the seller, not the deliverer. Narvar, a popular logistics startup that touts its ability to help brands deliver premium post-purchase experiences, directs buyers to a clean, bright retail mark landing page to track packages. If you don't look up closely, you might think Warby Parker itself is bringing you your new sunglasses, not UPS. So moving on from the article, it says that the main reason small business can't keep up with the behemoths is economies of scale. Thanks to their huge infrastructure, mega retailers simply pay less packages for shipping. Scale also helps when it comes to an ever more popular companion to free shipping, free returns. There are another salve for the pain of paying, but processing returns requires manpower and eat into profits. Big loading retailers can recoup some of the costs by offloading returns and stale inventory to discount stores such as Marshalls, but small businesses don't have that option. So basically, if you have a big company, you have a lot of inventory, you have a lot of shipping, a lot of things that you can pay, and you could also sell to discount stores. Unlike small businesses where they only have a few quantities, so when it comes to returns and free shipping, it does eat up profits. So yes, I do agree. But look, small businesses really need to keep up with these big retailers for free shipping? Look, if you just make your shipping flat rate such as $10, and I know for a fact that you can get deals with UPS and FedEx with their deals, depending on what kind of deals you have, you may save up you may save money, or you won't lose much. But the fact is that yes, I do agree that free shipping is only for those big conglomerate brands. It's not for small businesses. It's really not. I mean, unless you're willing to take a hit in your profits and your profit margins. But the fact is, if you have a flat shipping rate, would it be $5, $10, or if you spend $200 or $100, you get free shipping? Why not? But those $50 shipping, $50 items, there's no need for free shipping. It's just eat up dollars. Look, if a person wants to buy it, a person wants to buy it not because of free shipping. Come on. And I won't lie to you. If I buy a magazine that's $10 and you're telling me the shipping's $10, okay, now that's ridiculous. I'm not buying that. That's absolutely ridiculous. And so I'm not surprised. But as you know, Amazon Prime is the behemoth. It's $120 annually, and it just so happens that. But here's the thing that people don't forget is that it's not just free shipping. You get Prime Music, you get Prime Video. So there's a lot more benefits than just Prime shipping. But just for shipping alone, then yes, I do agree that small businesses do take a hit when it comes to these free shipping, but they don't have to. All you have to do is, to me, it should be just flat rate. I don't like it when small businesses always tell you, oh, depending on where your address is, that shipping rate goes up. No, I don't like that. Just make it a flat rate. So, moving on to the second topic from Fast Company. Title is The Conscious Consumerism. The conscious consumerism movement is stalling. And I know why. Majority of Americans still buy into the do-good movement, but the number of people acting on it is in decline. How can we reverse the trend? So basically, social consumerism, conscious consumerism, social brands are slowing down. So basically, one of the paragraphs in the article, this story represents a lot of a lot of what's going wrong today with social responsibility. Sorry about that, I got off track. My agency recently released year 7 findings of our annual benchmarking study on socially responsible spending and other do-good behaviors. The results showed that such behaviors are continuing to decline across the country. What's worse is that we see the greatest slide among younger Americans, the poster children for being purpose-driven and socially responsible. So our study confirms that a majority of Americans still buy into do-good movement, and yet our findings also clearly signal that all is not well. Here's the problem. The issues being addressed by social enterprise and mission-driven organizations are so nuanced and complex, it's almost unfair to ask the average consumers to make the right decision all day, every day. That is true. You see, when it comes to environmentalism or environmentally friendly items or even conscious consumers, it's really complex. It really goes from the top to bottom. Look, when it comes to making products, production in the factory, it's really hard. How can you create something well colored, but yet reduce the amount of water or reduce the amount of dyes? And you can only take natural dye so much. A natural dye is not as saturated as a chemical dye. It just isn't. When it comes to fabrics and yarns, again, you got a limited amount of resources, especially with cotton, especially with bamboo. You can say, yeah, bamboo grows fast, but at the same time, it still takes time to grow them. Oh, what about packaging? What about plastic? What about inks? I mean, it's really complex. Basically, everyone has to be in sync, and yet that's not possible because it's human nature. If you want multiple people at the same time to be in sync, they have to basically see the same vision, same direction, same dreams and goals. And yet, as you can tell, not everybody wants that. You can say, oh, because they signed a treaty, they signed a pact, they signed an agreement, blah, 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 blah. But it's not. They're just doing that for marketing. If you really want these brands to take action, well, tell your government or something, an entity, drop a hammer on them. It's like, hey, look, this is what's gonna happen if you don't oblige. That's it. And all of us, I mean all of the people around the world, should take action. Look, I won't lie. I mean, I still use Ziploc bags because it's convenient. If I use something else that biodegradable, where is that? Where can I find that? Like, why is it so hard to find in stores? Why can I not find Ziploc bags that's biodegradable? You tell me I have to go to Amazon all the time. Why can I not find it in my regular grocery stores? Is it because it's not popular? Again, I mean, this is so complex that sometimes it makes my head hurts, which probably is now. But look, I'm gonna read you this paragraph. Here is another example. Consider the current misinformation and confusion around climate change. Think about the string of debates one has to navigate. Is global warming real? If it is, are humans responsible for it? If we are responsible for it, can we do anything about it, or is it too late? Or look at recycling. The last I heard, recycling is broken. So are we doing more harm than good? Well, there you go. I mean, this will go on and on. Moving on to the third topic, GQ.com. Title is How Buying Jeans Became a Political Act. A new report says consumers want brands to agree with their policies. How did we get here? So, the journal reports that there is no simple explanation behind these consumers' move. Brands' more vocal support of political causes like Levi's advocacy for gun control have led to consumers' divisiveness. The journal quotes Nike legend Phil Knight giving talk early this year at Stanford School about Nike's controversial 2018 Colin Kaepernick advertisement. It doesn't matter how many people hate your brand as long as enough people love it. This shift also the result of socio-geographic changes, rural areas mostly found in the West and Midwest, till increasingly Republican and tend to favor Wrangler's cowboy image. Metropolitan areas skew more Democratic and therefore drawn to Levi's more liberal image. One lifelong Wrangler consumer told the paper he bought 2 pairs of Levi's last year because of the latter abuse of gun control. Admittedly, the logic behind the shift feels a bit hazy. Wranglers have sort of small variety Clint Eastwood appeal, while Levi's have political advocacy core to its brand. Donating money to gun control nonprofits and signing amicus briefs opposed to Donald Trump's immigration ban 2017. It's possible that the taste for one is an expression of distaste for the other. Man, that is a long paragraph. I would have divided that to at least 3. But look, how do I feel about this? Well, I mean, do you really need to take a political side? I mean, does the brand itself represent a political party? No, Blue Jeans have always represent the hard-working Americans, the immigrants who built this country. That's what it was for. Look, if you look at the history, Blue Jeans was not for the rich. If you wore blue jeans back then, I mean really back then, it was meant that you were not well off. It was just a clothes that you just wore because that was all that was affordable. You were not well off. But now apparently over time, jeans became expensive, became luxury. Now you can wear jeans and you can be well off. But taking political side and having a logo represent a political side is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think any company should, any brand should. And if a brand does pick side, then they have to get ready for the repercussions. They have to accept the responsibility of anything that any critique that may come to them. If Wrangler want to show a cowboy image and stay a Republican, well, that's them. But does that mean you're gonna start hating them? Probably yes or no. If you like the jeans, you like the jeans. Doesn't matter what the political side. But in the end, I don't believe that these companies should take a political side, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And I can't believe it's come to this. Look, I'm pretty sure these brands are probably paying these political parties that they want this to happen. They're probably lobbying. But if you do that, okay, now I can understand why certain people don't like buying your jeans, because now you're lobbying. But if you just say, look, I'm gonna vote for this because I believe that he or she represent my views, then I'll vote. But hold on. Let's say a president of a jean company said that. If that's his opinion, but it doesn't represent everybody in the company, okay? It does not represent the viewpoints of every employee in the company. So let's not get that twisted. But I mean, everyone has a vote. Hopefully these people know how to differentiate fashion with politics. So for the last topic, from arstechnica.com, fewer than 10% of Americans are buying $1,000 smartphones, report says, and consumers in major cities are more likely to take the plunge than others. So all of this reporting on the United States is to say nothing about developing countries, which remains the biggest potential growth markets for cell phone, because the market is developed, economy are so saturated. Consumers in developing countries may be even more unlikely to spend $1,000 on smartphones. There are Android phones well below the price point that ours can recommend, and Apple's 8 lanes in still pricey but cheaper, $500 or so. There's likely room for Apple to introduce a phone that pushes the price down even more to address the market outside of major cities in rich economies. But as we noted in some of our reviews, the support infrastructure that is Apple stores and the like for Apple iPhones is often comparatively inadequate in small towns or in many countries. There has been much talk about economists and politicians lately about the gap in the U.S. economy between affluent major cities and the rest of the country. The NPD report on Gadget of all things provided some evidence to back up that diagnosis in the least part. Well, look, this is good. It tells everybody that, look, I'm not spending $1,000 on a phone. Think about it. I'm buying a laptop. You can buy a laptop. You can put money down on your car. You can buy an engagement ring. It means forever. And it will last longer than a phone. Pretty obvious. You can build a computer. You can pay your bills. You can pay your student loans, which will help you in your credit. I mean, why should you buy $1,000 iPhone? I believe that no consumer should buy $1,000 phone. No. Now, am I gonna say that there are phones out there that are worth $1,000? Yes. I believe that the Note 9 is the most worth it. Even the Note 10 is not as good. Same with all these other brands. Same with the Apple iPhone Pro, whatever you want to call it. So this is good. Not only that, especially if you have a family, it's not worth buying $1,000. I think if you have a family, you should spend it on your kids, spending on something else. Heck, $1,000 is a vacation. Let's be honest, that you cannot take back. Look, you cannot take back time, but you can always buy an iPhone. You can always buy a phone at any time, any day. But vacation, you cannot take that back. It's an experience that you absolutely cannot take back. Once you do it, it's done. It also tells that these brands, that there are people out there that are not gonna buy $1,000 phone, so they need to make a lower priced phone, whether it be lowering the specs. I mean, look, you have to have some compromises, but I do think that phones nowadays are overpriced. It's the same technology, just faster, same screen. I mean, the screen technology has not changed. I mean, everyone's waiting for the bendable phone, but that's overpriced. sooner or later, it's going to be cheaper. So, in conclusion, I do believe that no one should buy $1,000 phone. No one. You should only spend $1,000 on a laptop, a vacation, a down payment, anything that will benefit more than a phone. Because again, a main purpose of a phone is to make calls and to send a basic communication device. That's all it is. And hopefully you don't buy $1,000 phone. And if you do, well, you better use it for the next 5 years. And so that basically concludes this Mr. Informal Podcast. I hope you learned something today. I hope you enjoyed the topics. Don't forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL. And then check out my website, mrinformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. And so I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.